She walked into the coffee shop, her eyes scanning the room for an empty table. That's when she noticed him. A well-dressed man fumbling with his wallet at the counter. The barista looked impatient as he searched his pockets, growing more flustered by the second. Without hesitation, she stepped forward. "I'll cover his drink," she said, handing over her card. The man turned, surprise and embarrassment coloring his face. "Thank you. He began, but her phone rang, cutting him off. She answered quickly, turning away. He couldn't help but overhear her conversation. "Yes, I'll be there for rehearsal tonight. Don't worry, I won't be late this time." As she hung up, their eyes met briefly. She gave a small smile before hurrying out the door, leaving him standing there, holding the chai latte she'd just bought him. That evening, he found himself outside a small jazz club. The neon sign flickered as he pushed open the heavy door. The smoky air enveloped him as he made his way to the bar. And then he heard her voice. Rich and soulful, it filled the room, wrapping around him like silk. His eyes found her on stage, bathed in soft light. When their gazes locked, recognition flashed across her face. After her set, she made her way through the crowd. An older gentleman intercepted her, placing a hand on her arm. Even from across the room, he could see her discomfort. "Come on, sweetheart," the man slurred. "Let me show you a good time." She tried to pull away, but his grip tightened. Without thinking, he surged forward, pushing through the throng of people. "Let her go," he said firmly, stepping between them. The older man sneered, reaching for her again. In one fluid motion, he shoved the drunk backwards, sending him stumbling into a table. "Get out," he growled. Now, as the man stumbled away, cursing, he turned to her. "Are you all right?" She nodded, relief evident on her face. But before she could speak, a sickening crunch made them both whirl around. The drunk had staggered out the door, right over her violin case. The delicate instrument lay in pieces on the sidewalk. Tears welled in her eyes as she knelt beside the wreckage. He crouched next to her, wanting to offer comfort, but unsure how. "I'm so sorry," he said softly. "Please, let me replace it for you." She shook her head, gathering the splintered wood with trembling hands. "It was my grandmother's," she whispered. "It can't be replaced." He watched helplessly as she climbed into a waiting taxi. Making a split-second decision, he leaned in through the window. "At least let me pay for your ride home," he said, holding out some cash. But she just shook her head again, asking the driver to go. As the taxi pulled away, he saw her wipe her eyes with the back of her hand. He stood there for a long moment, staring after the retreating taillights. Something about her had touched him deeply. He couldn't explain it, but he knew he had to see her again. The next day, he returned to the coffee shop where they'd first met. Hours passed as he nursed cup after cup of chai, hoping she might appear. Just as he was about to give up, the bell above the door chimed. And there she was. Their eyes met across the crowded cafe. For a heartbeat, neither moved. Then, slowly, she made her way to his table. "I never got to thank you properly," she said softly, "for last night." He smiled, gesturing to the empty chair across from him. "Join me!" As she sat down, he couldn't help but notice how the sunlight caught in her hair, turning it to spun gold. She was even more beautiful than he remembered. "I'm sorry about your violin," he said. "I know it can't be replaced, but perhaps I could help you find another one." She hesitated, then nodded. "That's very kind of you." "I'd like that." They talked for hours, losing track of time as the cafe emptied around them. He learned that she was a music teacher by day, singing in clubs at night to make ends meet. She discovered that despite his expensive clothes, he was down-to-earth and quick to laugh. As the sun began to set, casting long shadows across their table, he realized he didn't want the day to end. "Would you like to get dinner?" he asked, hope coloring his voice. She smiled, a warmth in her eyes that made his heart skip. "I'd love to." As they walked out together, her hand found his. And in that moment, he knew. This was just the beginning of their story.